Hi, I'm Ray and this is TinyTableGames. Thanks for clicking on the video, like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope you're having a good day. We wrapped up Legacy of You, and now it's time to move on to the next game, and I was thinking, you know, I really didn't get enough campaign-y feel out of that last one, but I did pick up another game that's pretty much brand new, got it at Dice Tower East 2025 in the virtual flea market, and it's a type of game I don't normally play. One that's app-based, where the app plays the GM. Now, that was the case in First Light when we were playing that a little while ago, but that was a very, very rudimentary GM. And this one is supposed to have like voice acting and click on things and different scenarios. And so, Freelancers by plaidhatgames. But for this video, I just wanted to try doing a box opening and open the game up and ooh and ah what's inside and take a look. So, come along. So here is the game. The artwork I thought was honestly not terribly appealing, though you can see the box is pretty shiny. Ooh boy, that's... But it's like kind of embossed and got that extra gloss. I forget the official printer name from it, which would disappoint some of my friends who work in the game industry, but nonetheless, that's pretty darn cool. So inside, ooh, the rule book. Stop. You don't have to read this rulebook. Launch the app by going to freelancergame.com and it will teach you as you play. We'll be doing that. So that's going to be like the next video is, hey, learn how to play this game. Because this rulebook's pretty condensed from the looks of it, because wow, that's some pretty small font for a rulebook. But I mean, hey, it's a campaign book, so what do you expect? Ooh, traveling on the map, skill checks, corruption, gold, titles, followers. Now this is sounding like a campaign game to me. Ooh, I like their strange piping for their back page. I wonder if that's indicative of something or that's just a plaidhatgames thing. I don't recall that on any of their other games. Huh. Oh, that's cool. And then a summary. Well done. I always like it when rulebooks have a nice summary on the back sheet page. There's almost never a reason not to do that. It's just, you know, I mean, why wouldn't you? All right. Interesting. And some of those tokens look exactly like tokens from X-Wing. Kind of funny. Ooh, look at this little paper strap to hold these three boards together. Breaking the seal. All right, so what we got here? We got a bunch of purple, what looks like followers, because it's a bunch of little meeples, broken heart things, which is probably wounds, skulls, that can't be good, and what looks like recycling symbols, so well, that's nice. Some locks. Game Master manages the app. Bookkeeper manages the location. So I guess that's in case if you forget who you are while you're playing. You know, it might be intense, you never know. Medic manages the wound track. So there's the wound track. Game over, enter 70. Don't be silly, it's only blood. Huh. So there's definitely a humor factor in this game, which again, going off the box art, with shady looking anime people who look like they're a cross between ElfQuest and something from Radio Comics. That's a deep cut from comics, if you know it. Let me comment in the description. I'd be curious if anybody besides me actually knows about that. Frogs fishing, that's always a classic. And some dude who looks like he's auditioning for Dragon Ball Z. Cool. All right, that was loud. Next one. Influencer manages influence. Well, that's interesting. I like how they term that the influencer. I was checking to see if they give him some sort of little medieval looking cell phone or something, but no, they do not. Let's see, we got a angry doggy with a bone, a cat with a wand, some sort of pixie with a fork. Whoops, boy, that pops out easy. Wow, those are really nicely punched. That popped out super easy. Let's see. Bags of gold, I assume. Warning symbols, nuclear radiation, band-aids, more broken hearts, more skulls, and more recycling icons. And finally, oh, it's counters For a minute, I thought it was a spinner, and I'm like, oh Lord, not a spinner. Well, let's see. We got enemy dials A, B, and C. Oh, I see they're all on one single card, though. If you look, the call punches out together. And over here is you got the little punch-out dials for all three of those. Then we got a shorter punch-out dial right here, which I assume goes with the threat dial. Game over, enter 75. So if the threat apparently starts at 8, if it ever gets to 18, you're done. You sure you want to go in there, mate? Grunko, son of Grung. And the risk track. Huh, there's a lot of tracks in this game. Interesting. And some really very strange art. It looks like some sort of insect with spears. And then the aforementioned guy who looks like he's out of a Radio Comics thing. And troll with a toad on a stick, maybe? Huh, interesting. Well, I can see this is clearly going to be an extremely serious one. Oh, and here we have a location book. I like games with location books, You know, after a lifetime of tabletop wargaming, which I adore, don't get me wrong. From way back from when Games Workshop was just getting rolling and it was just Rogue Trader and whatnot with those early games. And Battletech, of course, and you name a dude on a map game, I've played it pretty much. But including historicals, Napoleonics, and all that stuff. But there's a lot to be said for games on a map, in a book. And for a while, I don't think people really thought that was going to go because, making terrain, that's cool. Making buildings is cool, and Games Workshop makes a fair bit of money off selling extremely expensive, extremely fancy buildings and terrain and whatnot. And there's lots of companies now. Dwarven Forge, for example, makes incredibly sell your car to buy it kind of terrain, but it sure is pretty and lights up and has LED effects and virtually looks like real lava at this point in their lava scenarios. And that's just for D&D and whatnot, but or whatever. But yeah, there's something tidy when you don't have a tremendous amount of time and you're still want to get a campaign in. Games that have just a campaign book that you can flip open and use, much like Dungeon Tiles that Wizards of the Coast put out for a while, and some third-party companies did. Those are real handy sometimes. Certainly more economical, still give you a feel of what's going on, doesn't take half a day to set up, and you don't need 3 extra rooms in your house to store it. So anyway, back to the box opening. Okay, so like I said, location book. I don't know if I want to take the plastic off this yet, because I'm sure there's some reason why it's in plastic other than just packaging. What the heck. And notice it's spiral bound. That tells you there's maps inside. Well, that's not very attractive. Huh. So what I'm seeing here is what looks like somebody's messed up cafeteria. What looks like old chairs or something, and tables with rows of mushrooms or something, and some sort of sewage effluent coming out there. Huh. And squid arm wrestling a lizard of some kind with a spiky collar, and the squid has a tattoo on his arm, or one of the tentacles. Huh. This is going to be very strange and interesting. Hub slums. Oh, you can arm wrestle, visit a food stand, explore caves, snoop around, talk to strangers, give to the needy. That's nice. Or visit the hydroponic garden. So apparently that's the equivalent of going back to town, is hitting the hub slums. I appreciate that they give you artwork to go with that. That is pretty awesome. And we will look no farther. All right. Now the real question, what's beneath the cardboard? Attractive little box stuff. Some pastel dice, in fact. 2 gray D20s, 2 orange D6s, a couple pinkish D8s, a couple purpley D12s, some red-looking percentile dice, and a couple of very hard-to-read yellow D4s, which seem to be produced at a smaller scale than all the other dice. Huh, that's unusual. Anybody who's gone to Gen Con or Chessex or been playing for a while, everybody has their own opinions on dice and how they're produced. And are rounded edges better than sharp edges? I do not think they are, but rounded edges are a heck of a lot cheaper to produce. So I don't blame them for that. I don't need super expensive dice. Then we have a bag. So is this a bag builder too? Why else would you give us a black bag, I guess? Interesting. Oh, I like it when they do this. Look, there's a 5 zillion little Ziploc bags, or excuse me, resealable plastic bags, not particularly branded or affiliated with anything, for everything. Some standees for what's obviously going to be those weird little characters, and those must be the peg holders for the dials. And some tiny little cards of a scale that almost looks like those Arkham Horror Fantasy Flight things. I wonder if I got some sleeves that'll fit these. I wonder if it probably will. It looks like exactly the same size. Watch, they're like 3 millimeters off, because you know how that goes. Gopher, the Go-Getter. When a supplies token is drawn from the time bag, I'm guessing this is the time bag, you may give this follower to another player to gain luck +2. Huh. I don't know what that means, but it sounds interesting. And these got to be treasure cards or loot cards or something. Shield of the Charmed. Discard or luck -1. Corrupt -3. Ah, so those aren't skull tokens, they're corruption tokens. Interesting. Let's see what we got here. Mouser. Oh, cool. So a whole bunch of different little character sheets. Mouser, Goblin, Elf, Hound. Oh, they're two-sided too, man. And they're all different. Stiltkin, Troll, Merfolk, Imp, still going. Oh, there we go. Wow. So that's a lot of characters, and that's full color too. Huh, I am impressed. And I see it's got spots for putting your cards around it. So that's nice. An object people lose, a small animal, a fantastical beast, and name of another character. That sounds like a bit from the Johnny Carson show. Look it up, kids. Now let's see, and here we have generalized classes, warrior, judge. So the other one's races, and this is classes. Very cool, very, very cool. So between those two sheets, you've got pretty much all your stuff as far as how your character works. And here we have maps, map A, quite clearly. Campsite, fortune tellers, taverns, events, trading posts, crossroads, lawful shrine, chaotic temple, treasure golem, location page, duel, threat, and dungeon. Oh, look at all, wow. I like it. Start, that's always helpful. Are these all different or are they all the same? See, that's map A. Ooh, it's even two-sided, look at that. Save your game, influence track, wound track, threat levels. Oh look, map B, they are all different maps. I won't go farther than that because I don't want to spoil anything. Ah, I like how it's got that blue kind of mimeograph color in the background to it. That's a nice callback to the old days. Very cool. And that's about it. So let's get this all back in there. I am looking forward to this. This should be very interesting. I certainly like all the full color maps and guides and stuff. And let's see, we got this, then these. I think I did that in the right order. Except this doesn't sit right now. Ah, that's such a pain. I always hate that. And the bag, which I know can go lower, but whatever. Here's the rule book that apparently we won't be using. Excellent. And the very snug box. So, in addition, I have this. And you're like, wow, is that a really old, hey, you can see me in the reflection. Is that a really old iPad? And the answer is, why, yes, it is. In fact, it's old enough that Apple won't support it anymore. But you can still use it for just regular old Wi-Fi and things like the Freelancers app, which happily is posted off their website, and so you can just go do that. And that's what I'll be using for this, so I'll be able to show that at the same time, which is something that did not work out for the HeroQuest First Light game, because it just got really fussy with this, so I couldn't use it for it. But this one I've already gone to the website to make sure, and we are good to go. So there you have it. That's the Freelancers, a Crossroad Games by Plaid Games unboxing. It looks pretty cool. It looks very unserious, but at the same time, it's got all the touches of a nice D&D style campaign, but clearly it's not in a D&D setting. It's something different, kind of, I don't know, post-apocalypse D&D, but not Dark Sun either. So it's kind of got its own weird take on things. I'm kind of looking forward to it now. Looks a little silly, but also looks pretty entertaining. And hey, who doesn't like a book full of maps with all that stuff? There's a lot of replayability, very exciting. Hopefully it's cool. If so, I'll be playing through a campaign like this, much like I did with 5 Leagues from the Borderlands. And if you happen to be watching those videos, thank you very much. I know they've been picking up a lot lately, so that's always gratifying. And we shall hit this campaign a-running, and we'll just start from the learn how to play and go from there. I'm Ray, this is TinyTableGames. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and remember to enjoy yourself. I'll see you next time.